I'm like, why is it not letting me
Oh, hey y'all.
Oh, we was on this whole
I
time.
just no, I
Oh,
just connected it.
I was about to say. She was like, "Oh, we was on."
on? Like, we was
Okay.
on all that time.
Okay, hold on. Let me just make sure it is.
I'm gonna say, good thing I ain't dig out my nose. We got on.
Oh my God. It wouldn't be no different than what I see every day with the kindergartners. So it will not.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm an adult, and I
It,
can't be on live.
okay. It's live. I can see it. Okay. Hey, beautiful. All right. Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Welcome to Unscripted Beautiful Life. We are Mr. and Mrs. Beautiful, and
Beautiful.
we are joined by my beautiful sister, Sabrina Monroe. I'm just going to read y'all her bio and then we just going to just
oh
roll in.
no.
Don't go too deep into it.
Yeah, y'all, listen.
Is
Sabrina
this the
Monroe,
short one or the long one? Oh my gosh.
the short one. Yeah, I would have
Okay.
paraphrased if it was a long one. I don't need
Okay.
listen, but I'm gonna give you your flowers. So she's an author, coach, and speaker, and has always been driven by a deep passion for helping others discover their true calling. Her personal journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth inspired her to share her experiences in her debut book. She has the keys. This transformative guide is infused with affirmations and practical exercises, encourages readers to step out of their comfort zones, confront their fears, embrace the purpose God has predestined for them. She's a native of Washington, D.C. Sabrina is committed to guiding others on their spiritual path with empathy and grace. How does that feel to hear that?
Ooh, it's different.
Yeah.
It's different when from reading it versus somebody else saying it. It's like, who they talking about?
Mm-hmm. 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 Hey,
But it's like
Yolanda. Hey, beautiful.
you can. It's like when I especially the beginning from the beginning because I've been mentoring, coaching, being a quote unquote therapist to people since I was a teen. And that's, reflecting on that is what showed me that, okay, God, we are really doing this.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it made it more believable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it didn't allow me to shrink back because I used to like the background. So it didn't, it said, okay,
Same
we going
here.
to we going
Recovering
full.
background.
That's why we sisters. It's like I'm
Listen, I
going
still
full
have
steam
moments when I
ahead.
want to get back in that background, though. Trust me.
Listen, okay,
Okay.
yes.
So I know how She Has the Keys was birthed. I know that journey. But share a little bit, but don't go too much because they need to come to a beautiful encounter to truly get to experience all of what you bring to the table. Okay.
Yes, yes. Okay, so oh man, I get goosebumps every time I think about it because it's like, wow, God, we are really here. We really did this. And long story short, She Has the Keys was birthed on the beach. Um, with because of an axe, I was asked to do prayer and meditation for Dreams on the Beach, um, the very first one. And fast forward 2 years later, it was like, okay, we putting this in the book and we're gonna do the day one thing. And the rest is history. God truly, truly showed up and is doing some amazing things since 2023. I'll give you that. You got to
So
come to a beautiful counter to hear the rest.
so you need to make an amendment in your bio. I just realized this too because you are an international author, coach, and speaker, right? Like
Yes,
throw that
I am.
go back and add that. Go back and add that. Hey Jay, so what does She Got the Keys mean to you?
She Has the Keys means to me that I or you, the person, the reader, And it's not just for women. Let's just be clear on that. She has the keys. It was simply because of the dream on the beach, but it is not gender specific. And it really means to me that I have innate abilities that God preordained before I was formed in my mother's womb, that He has equipped me and give me the responsibility to perform and do with this time that I have here on earth. That's what it means.
Okay. You got questions?
I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm
I'm
listening.
just like, no, I'm
Listen.
listening.
Okay.
This one gonna be new to me because I'm listening. I want to gain as much as I can.
Okay. So one of the things I know that okay, let me go back. A beautiful encounter is living beautifully in power, purpose, and presence. So of course you're in the presence, right?
Yeah,
Not presence, purpose, 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 purpose.
purpose. Hmm.
Because of she has the keys and what it is called going to call in for others. Because I know there's a lot of us, right, that are asking, what is my purpose? Right? How will I walk in my purpose? They see fear, and then like the fear is stopping them from walking in the purpose. And I was one of those, right? Didn't know what it was. And like we kind of touched on this last week too. It's like the thing that
I was just having this conversation today with a potential employee.
I got you. The
It's
thing
crazy.
that comes natural to us,
Hmm.
right? The thing that we'll do without anybody asking, the thing that we'll do without even getting paid for it, we don't see that as potentially being the purpose because we're
Exactly.
looking, right, for this title or
Mm-hmm.
for the red, the bells and the whistles to go off. And
Hmm.
God be like, that's it, that's it, that's it. But a lot of times it's not coming
We
that
missed
loud.
it.
We miss
No,
it.
We
it
missed
is
it.
not a big boom.
It's
I'm
right.
gonna say that it is not a big boom. It's what you least expect. Even though yes, there is some joy to it. There's some excitement to it internally, but sometimes we don't see the internal excitement because we're not necessarily tuned into God's frequency to
Mhm.
say this is it. And when I realized what my purpose was, I was literally in this month, actually as of tomorrow, sitting in a conference. Man, I'm telling you, Marsha's is something else. Literally sitting in the women's conference, and my one of my former coaches, she said, "Whew, get over yourself to become yourself."
Wow, that's
Hmm.
good.
And then in our sessions, she said that purpose isn't what you do, it's how you make other people feel. And I'm paraphrasing. And when she said that, it was like the light bulb went off. And at that time, I had already, finalized. She has the keys. I had just submitted the edits to my editor, and God said, it's all coming together. Now you can see, because I had no idea. Like, I'm just being obedient to God and writing the book, putting the information in, because when God whispers something to one of my sisters and they come back and whisper to me and say, hey, you need to do XYZ, and I'm saying, God, is this what we really supposed to do? And he's saying yes, and I'm like, yes, I know it to be true because of how it came. It was the
Mhm.
acts, and then immediately the night prior to Dreams on the Beach, it all came together. Just like that.
So I
Is it
know, right?
always going to be that way? No.
Mm-mm, it's not.
But that's
So
my
I'm
truth.
right, but I think that's all of ours, and I think that's the thing we have to understand. It's not going to you're not going. You may hear God say it, right? Say what your purpose should be. Say what the assignment is, but then you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? Right? The instinct is, okay, it's go time. But then you
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know what I'm
Where'd it go?
supposed to do or how to do it.
Right. Where the
Right.
Mm-hmm.
directions?
So when you're talking about, right, this is for those authors out there that have heard God say, write the book, right? Tell us what your process was like from having the idea from dreams on the beach, dreams on the beach, dreams on the beach to,
Excuse me.
now I have this book, I'm going to write it, and like really getting to the point of your book launch, like when we're celebrating you and your book. Like talk about maybe all the emotions, everything that you experienced to go from like beginning to end.
I was shaking in my boots. Yes, it's and to answer
It
Jay,
is dreams
it's
on the beach,
dreams on
Jay.
the beach. Yes.
Yeah.
I was shaking in my boots because literally in my head, because honestly, the enemy wasn't trying to do it, right? But because of like I heard what my sister said, and I heard God seal it and say, yeah, let's first of all, he sealed it before she said it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be clear. He sealed it before he said it, simply because of how he strategically gave me every word, then coupled it with an essential oil the night before Dreams on the Beach. And the way that it all came together was like, wow, did this really just happen? And from Dreams on the
See?
Beach to 2 weeks prior to me sitting in this conference, it was work. It was literally, and I'm like, I'm trying not to cry.
Listen, no, that's
You
why we
gotta let
both.
it flow.
And
You gotta let it flow.
I
Jay,
was
keep us
trying to
right.
hold it until
oh
you
my
finish
goodness.
because
And I'm
Jay,
just
keep
getting
us
over the
right,
flu,
man.
so I'm gonna be coughing, y'all. Forgive me.
Jay is just getting over a
But
little cold with his
literally,
feet.
it was, I minimized it so much because I'm just saying, oh, okay, so I'm just going to take these words, I'm going to take these, these affirmations, and I'm going to, put the oil with it, and that was it. But because my editor is who she is, it was like, this ain't it. Go back to the drawing board and give me what I know that is in you, because she's been trying to get me to write a book for moons, okay, to share my story. And I'm just saying, like, okay, well, what does that even look like? And so it was a lot of, late night talking, having a conversation with God, talking to my husband, saying, what does this even look like? Literally, I'm sitting there in tears because the me is just like, I can't do this. But God's saying, no, you can, because you're doing it. You already did it. I've already prepared you for this moment. And so I went back and I'm just sitting there. And then after I prayed, I just started writing. And then it all just started to come together, page by page, section by section, and the end result, I was even surprised because I took me out of the equation and let God be God and do exactly in and through me what he set out to do from the night prior to Dreams on the Beach.
I think that's the biggest thing we all have to understand when it comes to purpose, when it comes to the assignment, when it comes to the gifts and talents that we have, is we have to take ourselves out of it.
That's it.
Because how many times will we fumble the ball because it's like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, this is what I want to do, da, 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 but
And
not
it's got to be
realize
perfect. It got to be a
it.
certain way. We got to, cross all the T's, dot all the I's. But no, when March 26th came and she said, get over yourself to become yourself, that's when the light bulb came on and it said, Sabrina, you did it. You're here, and you did it because you listened. You did it because you followed my instruction. It ain't had nothing to do with me. It had all to do with me just listening and following instructions and being obedient to exactly what God was telling me to do, and taking myself out of the equation. Because the problem is that we put so much onus on our abilities that we miss the mark. But when we allow God to step in and we just flow simply on his ability of what he already deposited in us innately, that's why I say it's innate, then we can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
The impossible. That's when he's like, everything is possible because I made it possible.
Yeah.
He made it possible already. But we so focused on what we can do. So that's why whenever I introduce myself or I'm talking about, introducing the book, I'm letting people know that, yes, I wrote it, but I'm just a vessel. I was just being obedient to God and doing and writing exactly verbatim what he told me to write. Because I ain't that great.
That's it.
He's greater than I. So
You was about to say something.
Oh, I was gonna say you are that great with him. Yeah.
with him,
Yeah, that's what I say. You
without
are that
him,
great with him. Yeah.
without him, I
We
am
stand
not
alone. Yeah, we stand alone.
on the island
Yep.
looking
But with
crazy.
him, but with him,
But
but
with
with
him,
him, you are as great as he made you to be.
that's it. With him,
Yep.
not without him
Yep.
though.
And see, that's a lot of
That's what
time.
I'm saying. It's like the thing. We are always trying to do things on our own
Yes.
effort. We
Mm-hmm.
can't do it on our own effort
Nope.
because that's how we, the head
Give it away.
swell, and we all off on the tangent, and
Mm-hmm.
no,
Yep.
do it with him. When you do it
So
with him, you walk hand in hand with him. He will show up every time. And it's so funny because day before yesterday, and I think I sent this to y'all, Katrina. I saw something that Steve Harvey, a video, and he said something along the lines of we can't do nothing without God. When we put our hands in his hands, he gonna show up every single time because we are putting full trust in him and not in ourselves. So
We just got to look at his track record. Like, he's never failed us in the
never.
past. So why
or
do we
quit.
think the obstacle that's in front of us is going to be any different than what was the obstacles behind us? You was going to say something.
Yeah, I was saying I remember this picture, and I know everybody has seen this picture. I'm trying to remember what the passage said, but it was the footprints in the sand,
Mm-hmm.
and then it
Oh
turns to one.
It's in the events or something I carried you or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
So,
yeah, yeah.
but we can look at that as another way where we standing behind him and we following the same footprints that he puts.
That part.
Yeah.
We ain't got to
Yeah.
make our own footprints in the sand. We just got to follow the footprints he already laid for us.
Follow the footprints. Follow the footprints.
So I know you'll have books with you, I'd assume, at the Beautiful Encounter. I'm hoping, right?
Yes and yes.
Okay. If you wasn't planning on it, I'm telling you now. Okay. Okay.
I
So
will have some, and then I also have an
we'll
ebook,
take.
and then we'll be able to do some
Okay.
pre-orders as well. Yes.
So one of the things, and I know this because I have it, and so I've been through it. But you talk a lot about no locked doors. Talk about that just a little bit.
So No Lock Doors is the class that came from the book. Like when he deposited the book, he deposited 8 weeks of transformation for me to walk alongside other women, men, to really dive deep in self discovery. And when he says no locked doors, is literally just that. Every door that he has already preordained and assigned with your name on it, once you go through these 10 areas to really peel back all your layers, like removing the limiting beliefs, the fear, the doubt, the I can'ts from your lips and from your thought process, only then can the doors be open. So by the time you get through this book and get to that 10th chapter, but even after the 10th chapter, there's still work to do because there's a 30-day process, a 30-day challenge, because I can walk alongside you and you can do well. But when you leave me and you go it alone, what are you going to do?
Right.
You have 30 days to continue to perfect what he's already put in you and going through the 8 weeks. But then now it's like, now I have to do this on my own. Can I stand up on my own 2 feet and stick my feet in the sand with God and walk along with him and allow him to do it with me as I'm getting out of my own way? And only at that point of completion will you then be able to say there are no locked doors that I cannot walk through. I can walk through any and every door because I am fully equipped with everything. And I know that the innate talents, gifts, dreams, the purpose that God has already given me, I can do it with ease. And there's nothing that will stop you from doing it.
So good. But with the locked doors, you and I have had shared similar experiences in the door being locked, right? So
Woo, yeah.
Sabrina lost her job what, a month before not even a month before I was let go.
I don't
So
even think it was 30 days.
I don't think
Let
it
me see.
was
I don't think
either.
so.
And so we were able to lean and, like, I'm texting her, like, help me off the ledge, like, what,
Mm-hmm.
so no, to have that experience, right? But knowing how the job loss, the separation that we suffered was a locked door. It really, like, it was the locked door, but it really was
Open.
unlocking
Yeah.
the purpose and everything else that we
Mm-hmm.
are
That's
stepping
it.
into
It
now.
was
And
it was literally a locked door that we kept locked because we didn't want to
Y'all locked
open the door
yourselves
and
in.
walk into what he was already prepared preparing
you,
us to do.
he got to say
That's
that
what it
again.
was. I'm sorry, say it again,
He
Andre.
got to say that
I
again.
said y'all locked yourselves in.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. We locked ourselves in because we were so comfortable.
Yep.
Yep.
That bi-weekly or bi-monthly paycheck was looking real good, and it was like, this is our comfort zone. We good. We don't need to do nothing else. Even though we had the other businesses, on the side, we
Mm-hmm.
made that job the number one and the end all be all, instead of literally saying, okay, God, that's going to be the resource of just a resource to what it is that you have already told us that we need to be doing. It's just like that would be the side hustle where we would then be able to step into our calling and do what we're called to do as the resource, with God as the source that's going to
Mm-hmm.
provide everything that we absolutely need, without fear, without doubt, without no wavering of, oh, how I'm gonna do this, that, and the other. It'll be almost 2 years
I
coming
was
up.
just about to say, can you please talk about that? Because I know from our conversations, it was, we had this, it was the doubt there, right?
Scared.
Like how these bills gonna get paid, right? But when you look at it, like 2 years and like every need was met, everything, like your business was flourishing, like it was just like God had to close those doors to open up the purpose and the assignment, and like it's you still sustain, like
He just had to help y'all unlock y'all door.
we had
That's
to break
it.
out, he had
That's
to
He
break
had
us
to.
all.
out, he
So
had
No,
to
he
break us
had to
out.
break
so
us out with
yeah,
a big
he had to break
boom.
you out.
Because
Yeah, he had to break
otherwise
you out
we'd
the
have
padded
still
room.
been sitting there
Y'all would have
and
still been
like,
sitting
Still
there if he
sitting
didn't
there.
never step in. And when I'll never forget when Trina called me, I didn't worry. The first thing I said was thank God, because she
mm,
would have still just been sitting there, because she had been talking
mm.
about leaving for what, 2+ years.
It was probably longer than that.
And so again, words are powerful. So
Yes,
as
they
you're
are.
speaking this, God is like, don't you worry about it, because you ain't gonna go nowhere, but I'm gonna help you.
and,
And,
and I
and
think
it's so funny, y'all, because okay, March 26th, I went to the conference. March 26th, at the end of the conference, this woman ain't know me from Adam. She said to me, you are going to write books. You are going to step into the life that God preordained for you. And literally, like, you will lack nothing. The time is now, but it's long overdue. And I'm saying to myself, because I've had people prophesy over me, many a times, there's some of it come true, some did, some didn't. So I'm just like, okay, but immediately I really, really started to think about it, because I'm like, this lady don't know me from Adam, but she knew that I had books, and I had just submitted my edits 2 weeks prior for my very first book.
It's not
So
called a
I
coincidence.
knew in that moment that God was in it. I knew it was real. I knew what she uttered out her mouth was the word of God. And literally 30 days to the date of the 26th of March, I received the phone call as I'm working remotely from home in the middle of, working. And they tell me, we're sorry, but we have to eliminate your position. And I'm literally sitting there like, am I being punked? Where's Ashley Cushion? I
Where's he at?
know.
Come on out.
And I'm like, and I actually literally had to say, come again. And he repeated himself. He very nervously repeated himself. And I'm like, okay, immediately, what we do? What did I do? Is it something that I did? Something that I did? Putting it on. And I'm saying to myself, okay, fast forward, get off the phone. When I tell y'all, I walked out of my office and my aunt was sitting in the living room, and I unleashed a roar like never before. And after I unleashed that roar, it felt like a ton of bricks was laid off my shoulders.
Wow.
The weight of it all just came crumbling down. And I knew then that this was God's moment. This was God releasing me from the strongholds, from keeping myself in a chokehold on a job that I enjoyed what I did, but I was tired.
Mhm.
And at that point, I was just doing it just to do it, just to get a paycheck. And from that point forward, I'm telling you, he set me up, y'all. He set me up. My last day was May the 12th. May the 12th, and I think it was January or December. My mother had already pre-purchased us tickets for the Mother's Day celebration concert at Constitution Hall. I didn't even think about it until the week prior to my last day. And I said, God, you funny. Because where I'm supposed to be, in the society, you supposed to be sad that day. You supposed to be sitting, crying, eating a whole bunch of stuff, just emotional eating. I get to go and I get to celebrate Mother's Day at a concert. Literally, I can walk from my office to DAR Constitution Hall, which I did, because I had me a good old time walking and laughing and talking and just thanking God and praising God that he allowed such a time for me to be released and then to go into celebration on my very last day of a 22-year career. Who does that but God?
Yours was 22 too? I didn't know that.
It was almost 22 years.
Okay. Okay. So, but I love how the thing that should have been the sorrow turned into be the beautiful moment,
Yep.
right? Turning into like your last day, but it was also the celebration. It was like your new beginning that was happening. So it was like, even in the midst of everything that's going on, there is still beautiful, right?
They're still beautiful.
And so I know that there is someone on here. I've shared, you're sharing, have experienced some type of loss, separation, you know, what there's something's gone that we didn't think ever would have been gone. That's
Mm-hmm.
sitting here like, okay, this is really heavy. I'm not going to see, I can't see how I'm going to get on the other side of that. What do you say to them right now?
Trust God. That's what I would say. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
But it's easy to say that, right? It's easy
What
because
you
I
say? What you say,
said
Trey?
trust God.
Trust God.
And you know, it's easy to say it, but there is nothing else because I literally, it's like it was such. Oh man, it was just so beautiful. Even in okay, you got the celebration, and then I think a week or 2 weeks from there, I went to all pink, like pink and blanc, at one of the local churches, and I'm telling you, I got stories for days, y'all. So we were told to write down our prayer and give it to the person in front of us because it's like we was all lined up, like dun and blanc. Turn to the person, and then the person that you're standing behind, you give that person your prayer. I gave the person my prayer, and she turned around and she looked at me and she said, "Oh my gosh, can I give her, the lady directly across from me, your prayer, and she give you yours?" And I said, "Sure." Our prayers were the exact same. God
Wow.
sustained me in my unemployment.
Wow.
So I say to the person that has lost something in the midst of, like the federal government is in an uproar right now. Like you may be fearing losing your job. But do you fear losing what God didn't already give you?
Hmm.
Do you fear that? Like God gave us innate talents and gifts. He created us. Ephesians 2:10. He created us to do good works in the kingdom. Your good works rest inside of you. Your innate abilities. If I can tell myself prior to that date in 2023, that same thing, I would have had to say, "Dang God, that wow, I'm gonna trust you."
Hmm.
I don't have no other choice but to trust you because I know who you are to me.
Yeah.
You make the impossible possible. So if I know that you believe so much so that and you love me so much that you gave me these things that I can do that with my hands that you gave me and created in me to do, why can't I trust you? Why can't I believe in myself, who you created, big enough that the same way I receive the job is the same way I can sustain myself based on what you've given me to do.
As you were talking, I was reminded of when we were walking around Allen Palm Park, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but all we said was life, and but then you said, but God is God.
God be God.
And like I mean, I'm still talking that thing because it's in my mind. Like life gonna lie,
But
but
that's
God
where
gonna God.
that's where
That's
you
where
got
it
that
came
from.
Life
from. I
going
think
like
So
and that's the beauty of the trust.
yeah,
Because
I
he
just
didn't
totally
say
agree with
life
that.
was gonna be easy. It's not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be.
But when
yeah,
we choose him, we're gonna be able to receive and experience the fullness of what he already preordained.
I think that's the biggest misconception that people have about God and walking in a relationship with Him is that we like, oh, I'm a Christian, I'm saved, it's gonna be easy, I'm never gonna suffer any hardship,
No.
I'm gonna always have, but we
Hmm.
don't realize that God isn't made, it's not made
He
like
is
that.
not a genie in a bottle
It's
No.
not.
No.
And
that he
that
gonna make every wish come true. That's not how it works.
every
It
challenge that
faith
we
without works is dead. You're
that
not
part,
putting your faith to the work. You
that
ain't
part,
activating that thing.
yep.
No,
Because every challenge that we face is preparing us for next,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
We get to the next level, then here comes some more challenges and some more things that God got to chip away at us. He like, nah, you really don't forgive in this area. I can't take you here till you go back and do like
Nope.
it's still
Steps.
work. It's steps.
I mean,
So
just like when
like,
we say, make whenever you create something, you have to follow the directions. You can't just skip
You
directly
can't go
to
Come
from
on,
10.
yeah,
Dre.
you can't.
Come on.
You
We be
can't.
we get all the we get them IKEA pieces with all the 1,000 pieces and think we gonna sit there and put that thing together without looking at the instructions.
Yeah.
Get out
And
of
be like, why I
here.
got all these pieces left?
Right. There's
Because it's
no
gonna fall down
way.
in 2 days.
There's no way. And it's so
Yeah.
funny because like look at look at us from that point until now. Would we have even okay, yeah, we had the job, we had the businesses, but were we at peace?
Mm-mm.
Did we have fulfillment?
Nope.
Did
It was
were
no
we
fear.
rested?
Really? No, babe. I just gotta say
It
it
was
because
that bad.
no, listen. Because as she was
Were
saying
we
this, right?
nice?
No. As she was saying it,
He
and it's
said it
not.
wasn't no peace in here.
But it wasn't. It's not just. It wasn't just a one-sided thing. This ain't throwing no shade. This
I
is
know
just
it's not.
being
I'm just
like being 100% honest because this was around the time when we started really going to marriage retreats and things like that. Because I don't. I'm one to where I do not shy away from telling my story because I second guessed them for so long, losing homeboys
Yeah,
that it wasn't nothing was going right for me. I don't care how well I thought I was doing. Nothing was going right in the house. So it was rocky, but it was like, all right, God talking to me, God talking to Trina, telling us different things, but at the same time, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We gotta get the you gotta get your house back in order.
got to get it in
But you
order.
gotta start with yourself.
Self
So I
first,
had to start with
absolutely.
myself and just let them know, like, I'm sorry for second guessing anything that you ever done. I can't second guess what you do because what you do is there's no second guessing it. It's a purpose in it. You know,
Yeah.
so uh
And that's just it. Like when I tell you, I even still today, if I'm doing something and I feel and God feels like I'm stepping out, I'm in the way, he'll remind me. Remember that saying that if you were so triggered by it and it pierced you, get over yourself to become yourself. Yeah, that was me. And I'm like, oh, well, let me just go ahead and sit back and get out my way and get back in your way. Let me get back let me get back in line. Because when
yeah.
we step out of alignment, that's
mm-hmm.
when everything gonna start going haywire. But we're
And
in alignment with him because it's still get over yourself. When when I'm out of alignment, I'm feeling myself.
when your car out of alignment, what do it do? Do it perform? Nope.
It be going in
It's
a
gonna
whole nother
veer left,
direction.
veer right. It may shake, it may rattle,
Listen,
but it's this ain't no coincidences. This man, this all is for real. You get
for
out of
real, for
alignment,
real.
your car get out of alignment, you get out
That's
of
right.
alignment, guess what happens? The car's shaking, you like, hey, bro, get yourself, go get in alignment.
Get it
And,
together.
and yeah, and so when you get out of the line, God
Uh-huh.
gonna shake your car. Hey, buddy, get back in line. But some
So
of us
just
don't see it. And we get in our own way and we get in his way.
get in his way. That's it.
Yeah.
That
So
was good, babe.
hey, babe, I told you that. Man, listen, like she said that God wrote the book and she just a vessel. I tell y'all, stuff that come out, I don't. It ain't coming from me. I give him all the glory now because man, I don't
Yes.
know how many years it was that I second guessed that the greatest thing on earth, man.
Yes.
The greatest because I swear it's
And
without
we
all
think
of this, we ain't here, babe. We ain't
listen,
sitting on this thing right here
we ain't that good. But with
by
him we are
ourselves.
great. With
We
him we
done
are
messed it up
great.
so bad.
We gonna mess that thing up, be like all jacked up. And he like, okay, just come on back over here. Come on back over here. Because again, look back at 2023. Would we have been able to do all the things that we have been able to do
Oh, I know. I
with the
if
level
I
of peace, with the level of joy, with the level of freedom. Like, I had leave. I always had leave, but what I literally have been able to take off and go to Costa Rica to become that international speaker that you talked about twice.
Right.
What? Only God. I
I think that's the
Won't he do it?
thing we have to
won't.
remember. It's only God. It's because when we think about, like, when I think about everything, if I hadn't been terminated, a beautiful encounter never happens.
Mm-mm.
Right? My family is not restored. It's not here. Like, it won't, you know,
We not right here.
we not right here. We not here. Like, now I can have conversations with my children. Yes, a little, sometimes it's kind of like I want to take them back, the next type of thing. But it's now
It's a little
it's a
easier.
level of trust.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
even now, right, when you look at what's happening administration, all the job losses that are taking place, like, there's still there's uncertainty, right?
Hmm.
But there's no fear,
There's no fear.
because when at the end of the day, yes, it's you there may be some job losses, there may be a whole lot of change that we never expected, but we didn't expect COVID to happen, and that happened, and we got through it.
We sure
Right? We
did.
didn't expect whatever it is. We never expected it, but we got on the other side of it. And that's the thing we have to remember now, is whatever mountain is sitting in our way,
Hmm.
God is either going to make a way for us to go left, right, over top of it, under it, or through it.
That's it. That's
And
it.
that's what we have to hold on to, instead of being like, oh, I can't jump. Like, you know how when you double dutching and you
Playing
just
double
waiting for that,
dutch.
You
you
trying wait till
trying
your
to get
turn, right?
in, God gonna be like, I don't need you. So he like, let me
And
just
then
go
that
and
rope
hold the
smack you
rope
in your
up.
face.
Right. Tearing your
That
legs
hurt.
up.
That was
Tell you what.
that was that telephone cord.
It's it's just
Ooh,
when we
Jesus.
can shift our perspective off of the natural things that's happening,
That's it. That's
and
it.
be like, okay, God, I don't know what this looks like, but I'm going to trust. That
That's
fear
it.
start kicking it. God, I don't know what this thing is that I'm feeling, but I need
But
you to
I'm gonna
help me
trust you.
understand it, or help me find comfort, help me find peace. God, I don't know why my health is acting up, why my knee don't, whatever it is. You have to shift your mindset from looking at the negative of that situation, and shifting it and saying, okay, what's the beautiful that I can find in this?
That's it.
Right? The beautiful is I get to draw closer to God during this part of it.
That's it.
And so now what may seem heavy, I'm sitting here talking to myself, right? Oh God. What may seem heavy is nothing for God. So if I have to pivot and do some things, I pivot, but I still got to move forward.
And
It's
the
like
onus is
you
not on totally you.
that it's like when you say yes to purpose, you got to say yes to purpose, but also saying yes to everything else that comes with it,
That's it.
because it is not going to be easy to walk in purpose. Because what happens is the enemy is like, oh, she thinks she about to do this for God. Let me start shaking some things around her life. Let me see how she go act of her husband and her going back and forth. Let me see how she gonna act when the jobs start cutting up or the kids start cutting up.
Let me see how she gonna act when I shut her all the way down and she can't even walk.
That, oh,
Yeah.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
Say I'm having flashbacks now. I need therapy.
And I go back to unless we go back to
What
what Jay
Janelle said.
say. She say without the beautiful encounter, she ain't in the 12-12. So we all walking in our purpose. Like we are help lining each other back to where we need to be aligned.
That's
There
it.
was um I don't know where I saw it, if I was reading something, but it talked about like how it's as spirit led entrepreneurs that um when we are operating, money should never be the first purpose of everything, right?
That's right.
That it should be about the heart of the people we're serving. It should be about the completion of the assignment and not getting so caught up in the number. Now, talking to myself, right? Because we're trying to plan not conferences, conference.
Conference.
And
No, it is conferences with an S. Yeah. It is.
okay. Well, this one I'm focused on right now.
Right. Okay.
Right? Because numbers are looking a little low. And God had to remind me it's not about the numbers. It's about
Now,
every heart of the woman that needs to be in that room will be in the
that's
Will
it.
room.
be there.
That's it.
And that's what I hold on to. And so, okay, the numbers might not be what they need to be, but okay, God, so how we going to work, help me figure this out. How you going to work this out? How this going to happen? How this going to happen? And it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, no, it's just trust me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like you worried about, well, what you got to do? How you going to do this? Da, 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 da. It ain't for me to worry about. The
It is
contract is
not.
signed, the dates have been set, the emails have been sent out. All I can do is say, hey, y'all get y'all ticket, and whoever is in the room
So
is in the
so
room.
let's start. Let's stop you right there. And
Don't you
I'm
stop
hold
recording.
on. No, 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 no. Not recording. I'm just going to read something to you that a coworker sent me today. All right, and this goes in the line of what you say.
Okay.
It's your job to plant the seed, not to change the heart. Don't mix
Mm,
your role with God's role.
that's
Mm.
good.
And that came today. All right, you can
Wow.
see the stamp on it. She sends us, me and my director, she sends us stuff all the time. But this was today.
Mm.
Say it
And
one more time.
your job is to plant the seed, not to change the heart. Don't
Mm.
mix your role with God's role. So,
And don't that go back to what we talked about last week in our group chat?
and,
Yeah.
I've gotten to the point now that I always tell people this is not coincidences. I don't even believe in coincidences no
It's not
more.
coincidence, it's providence.
Yeah, I don't even believe in that no more. I believe in that. No, man, I love it. That's
If
why I
I
had to
had
say, stop. Let me stop you right there. Let me just say this right now.
Mhm. If we focus so much on numbers every time, we would be crazy.
Man, what? Because the world is filled with numbers anyway.
I'm just
Listen,
gonna say this. The altar is open for any of y'all over here that needs to come up and ask for forgiveness because you was looking at the numbers, you was looking at the likes, the comments, the whatevers, the doors of the
listen.
church.
The doors of the church are open.
I know I'm not the
Come,
only one. I'm putting my
all
business
who
out there.
are
I
weary and
know.
heavy laden,
I
he will give
know
you
I
rest.
am not the only one on here that is like, okay, God, I'm reaching out. I'm sending more call, all of the things. What's happening?
Let
And
me tell
like
you
it,
something. You remember last year, well within, it was literally the week of, and I was calling the Roz to say, can we add? It was like 25 people. I'm like, and God
listen,
said, didn't I tell you? What I tell you? What I tell you? Trust
that's
I'll
me.
the
be obedient.
that's the
Trust me.
thing. That's it's like if he gives us the idea and the vision, he is going to make it happen his way. Like we can have the best of checklist, we could have the best party planner, the best of ideas,
Hmm.
and God would be like, I didn't tell you to do all that.
Hmm.
He just said, "Do." He just gave you the assignment. Carry the assignment out that he gave you instructions to do. That's your job.
That's it.
That's it.
Jay said she walking to the altar.
That's it.
Ah,
That's it.
that is all we gotta
Full
focus on.
course.
And that's it. It's just like
And
I
then he
just
gonna send. He see how good he is. He gonna send rams in the bush so that the needs are met. regardless of the people. It's the assignment. The assignment has to come to fruition. So he's going to send the sponsors. He's going to send, somebody to drop a seed, because the assignment has to be taken care of. The people that who's supposed to be there is going to be there.
Yep.
Yeah, like Tiff just said, I had to throw in my itinerary. Like the type A personalities that got to have it planned out from not the doors open at this time, is lunch at the, because the other thing we have to also remember is that when God is in a place, the whole agenda is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Because if
Wiped
you're
out.
truly connected and he's
Wiped
saying, okay,
out.
I need you to stop talking right now, and I need you to pray, or I need you to go do this. Are you going to worry about, but no, God, that ain't in the itinerary, or
That
you
ain't
going to
in the
be about,
script.
right.
It ain't your
And
movie.
and I
It
think
ain't your
that's
role in
why
the movie.
I think when we
Praise
call
the
this
Lord.
Unscripted Beautiful Life meant so much, because it's like Sabrina, you was like, oh, not Sabrina. I think when Yolanda was going to be on here before, I'm sorry to put you out here, Yolanda, but she said, but what kind of questions you going to ask? I ain't got none. I can't. So if you coming on here and you like, I need some questions in advance, this is not the show for you.
Yeah.
Because
there ain't nothing wrong with that though.
we'll start talking about one thing, jump to something else, come back, go back. Like it's just about
It's
it's
about the
the moment.
experience.
the
Yes.
Because
experience.
that is what is a part of his assignment, is for you to experience him at a different level. Because if you just going to go, you ain't going to experience nothing.
Nope.
Yep.
But if you're going to receive exactly what he preordained for you to receive for that experience, you gonna get that and so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
yes,
love
Yolanda,
what
belief,
Yolanda
you
just
said
said.
belief is a part of the assignment.
That's what I just was about to put up here.
Belief is the prerequisite.
Yep.
And I talk about that in the book. And she has the keys. Belief is the prerequisite. If you don't have that, that's the part that's the first key that you have to unlock within yourself. Because you can't do it by yourself.
Yep.
Is get out your own way. Let them lead.
That's the key right there, is letting them lead. We've been so used to controlling every
You can't control
situation.
everything.
Oh my gosh.
Then now that's another altar call.
But I feel like this is why a lot of times people get so stressed out, is that they feel as that they got to have control over everything.
Every
You can't
minute
control
detail.
everything. You can't control everything. What you can control, try to just control that. And
Mhm.
and again, let God help you with
Yep.
some of these times that you feel like you are, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Nah, sit back,
Mm-hmm.
listen. Because sometimes we move so much, we always on the go, that we don't have time to just stop and listen.
Oh, I thought I missed
And I
seeing
and I feel
Alicia
like
come in here.
that's kind of like what happened with y'all losing y'all job. Y'all was on the go so much that God had to say, you know what, y'all ain't gonna stop it. Let me stop it for you. Because y'all not gonna stop it. Y'all was in y'all way.
Stephanie. No, I'm
Y'all was in
laughing at
y'all
Stephanie.
way.
We was in the way.
We were
Yep.
But it's like I said,
so in the
but
way.
that's something that the world has made us, that we gotta go, 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 go. The world did this. The
Mm-hmm.
media is doing this. They man, we used to be able to say prayers in school. They didn't they took that out. You know what I mean? So we gotta put that seed back in our
Mm-hmm.
babies too.
Yeah.
And,
Listen, the world put enough limits on us.
man,
Yeah. Yeah. So
Why we gotta add on?
right.
Why we gotta add on? We the world do enough, and we don't do nothing but make it worse. But if we do it with God, the fulfillment of life will rest upon
Yeah.
us.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to do. I really wanted to. I'm gonna save it for a
Yeah, you
beautiful
got to,
encounter.
because I think we done gave him too much already.
Listen,
I'm telling you, we done
we
probably gave him too much already.
we can come back and do a part two, but after a beautiful encounter. Okay.
Leading up to the next one we gonna do.
All right.
I know that's right.
So to experience Sabrina in full, get your ticket for a beautiful encounter, a beautifulencounter.com. But Sabrina, if they want to follow you, because you wear so many hats, right? How can they get connected with you? Listen, okay, I'm about to just spill the beans a little bit. So she's the author. You didn't have artisan on your thing because, ma'am, you got papistry, you got the cakes, the cupcake. Like, listen, then it's the balloons. Like, it's so much under. Listen, this is like a one-stop shop of if she don't do it, she knows somebody that does it. Like, so how can they follow you so they can stay connected, follow? She has the keys, all of those things.
So you can follow me on all social media platforms at She Has the Keys book for everything unlocking your doors, walking into your purpose, believing who God called you to be. For if you need a cake, cupcakes, treats for your birthday parties, events, graduations, and proms are coming up, you can follow me at Papistry by Sabrina. If you need backdrops, t-shirts, tumblers, printable items for birthday parties, favors, bridal boxes, the whole shebang, everything party from a printable perspective or custom perspective, you can follow me at Prissy Projects and Designs. I tend to keep all the three worlds separate, so to speak. There's a rhyme to the reason, but when I do talk about all of them cohesively because it's a part of who I am. It's a part of my makeup from as an artisan, as a lover of art. It is my jam. It's who I be, and so that's where you can find me.
Do you see
And
what Tiffany said?
can I plug the prayer
Hold on.
brunch that's happening?
Look what Tiffany say.
So, I'm not going down that road with her again tonight.
I'm gonna have to
Oh
play
my
that. I'm gonna
goodness.
have to play that
And
song.
be
I'm gonna have to
cracking
play that
up.
song.
Tell me what it
Listen.
is.
Oh, yes.
The MC's here.
So go. Yes, please share what you have coming up for the prayer brunch. Prayer, yeah, prayer brunch. I want to say breakfast, but it ain't breakfast. It's brunch.
It's
Say what you got coming up.
brunch.
I
So
just know I
comment
got my
on
ticket.
right, yes, you do. You will be in the building. So on Saturday, April the 5th at 12 o'clock p.m., we will be hosting the second annual, thank you, Lord, the Call of Talents prayer brunch. What is the Call of Talents prayer brunch? If God gave you innate abilities and you have been allowing fear, doubt, the stronghold to keep you from moving in what He has called you to do, that is where we get to pour into you. We get to pray with you, for you, and you get to hear a dynamic speaker just continue to remind you of who you are, whose you are, and really help to drive home that you were created for good works, that you need to be sowing into the kingdom, that it's time out for you. Because and the theme this year is no time to waste time, because we've wasted a lot of time here on earth.
Yep.
I've gone to so many funerals and they talk about the dash in the middle. What are you doing with that dash in the middle? Are you just existing, or are you thriving? Are you living a fulfilled life? And in that dash, in that fulfilled life, you have to be doing what you were called to do. If you're not doing that, you're not living fulfilled. So at that prayer brunch is, that's when we're going to get empowered. We're going to get ignited to truly be who God called us to be as we step out on purpose, step out on faith, because it's really a faith walk, It's really a faith walk to do exactly what He called you to do and believe that you are capable and worthy of doing it. So it's going to be exciting. It's $60 per person. We only have a few tickets left.
And what's the link to register for that?
The link to register is at www.shehasthekeys.com and go straight to the event page.
All right. So y'all get your ticket for
Second
that.
annual.
Yes, second
Second.
annual.
Second.
So get your tickets for the prayer breakfast, but don't forget to get your ticket for a beautiful encounter. Sabrina is going to be talking about purpose in that one. I don't know her exact assignment. That's on her and God, but it's under the category of purpose. So where she fits or however he leads you. Let
Absolutely.
me just say that however God leads. But get your ticket.
Whatever he says.
Thank you, beautiful, being here with us
Thank you,
tonight.
Queen
We
Beautiful. Thank
thank
you,
Thank
you.
Andre.
you. Thank you so much. This one was definitely a blast too. Definitely a blast.
Well, we thank y'all for
I'm
joining us.
honored. I am honored.
We appreciate you. We appreciate it. But thank y'all for joining us tonight. Until next week, we will talk to you later.
Bye
Bye.
bye, good people.
Bye.